Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Klay Thompson puts NBA on notice after leaving Warriors for Mavericks. Klay Thompson of the Dallas Mavericks is an odd phrase to utter aloud, especially in the Bay Area where the shooting guard spent 13 highly successful NBA seasons with the Golden State Warrior, and while he has irrefutably changed as a player since back-to-back catastrophic injuries, ACL tear and Achilles rupture that robbed 2.5 seasons from him between 2019 to 22, Thompson assured the entire league that one crucial element of his game remains perfectly intact. At this point in my career you still can't leave me open, Thompson said during his introductory press conference in Dallas on Tuesday, July 9th, and I can guard and I'm just excited. I still think I can do what I've been able to do. Klay Thompson, formerly of the Golden State Warriors, despite the Warriors' decision to temporarily bench Thompson last season in favor of rookie Brandon Podmers. The five-time All-Star shooting guard statistics back up the claims he made Tuesday. At least from an offensive perspective, advertising Thompson has averaged 19.6 points on 41.3% shooting from behind the three-point line, 7.6 attempts per game over the course of his career. Last season those numbers dropped to 17.9 points and 38.7% from deep. Basketball Reference, though his attempts were up to 9.0 per night, those numbers rendered Thompson a well above average threat from the three-point line as one of the most prolific shooters of that particular shot in the NBA. His floor spacing will fit perfectly alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in Dallas, who are certain to provide Thompson with several open or wide-open looks from deep in every game they play together. Advertising, as far as his defense goes, Thompson was once among the best two-way players in the league. His prowess on both ends of the court led to second-team all-defense honors for the 2018-19 campaign and an 11th place finish in Defensive Player of the Year voting. The season prior, Thompson was a below-average defender last year, however, posting a defensive rating of 117.8, which was 1.7 points higher than the league average of 16.1. He was also 1.0 points worse than the average NBA defender during the 2022-23 campaign. Deep dive reports from ESPN and The Athletic, just to name a couple, have explored in detail why Thompson ultimately chose the Moose over the Dubs this summer, but on Tuesday he took the opportunity to give voice to his decision using his own words: "Whether you play basketball or work in the corporate world or whatever industry, sometimes change just can spare greatness." Thompson said, "A new change of scenery can do wonders, and I'm very grateful for my time at Golden State, but I just felt like moving on could just re-energize me and allow me to do something special for the rest of my career." Thompson also mentioned the concepts of fit and of having fun on the basketball court with a group of players who should contend again for a championship in 2024-25 after earning their way to the NBA Finals in June. Dallas was so attractive because of the young players they have, the style of play, the world-class treatment these players get from this organization, and it's just a beautiful city who loves their hoops." Thompson continued, "So when I was watching the playoffs and I'm watching the Mavs make a run for the championship, I just saw myself fitting in really well with this team and the personnel, and they look like they have fun playing with each other, they play for each other, and that was very attractive for me. That's really all I needed to see, and there's mutual interest there, and that's why I'm here." Golden State Warriors Lauri Markkanen trade pursuit takes unexpected twist. According to NBA insider Anthony Slater of The Athletic, the Warriors remain in pursuit of Markkanen, who is currently entering the final year of his deal with the Jazz. At this point, however, it is turned into a waiting game as Utah weighs its options. Markkanen, as several have seen chronicled becomes extension eligible on August 6. He's on an expiring $18 million contract and due for a large long-term raise. There are several within the league who have grown more convinced that the Jazz, after exploring Markkanen's trade market, plan to renegotiate and extend Markkanen using their saved-up cap space, Slater wrote. Despite multiple reports linking Markkanen to a move away from Utah, the Jazz are reportedly now considering doing a complete U-turn to retain the services of the 7-foot forward. For their part, the Warriors are reportedly prepared to wait it out in what could be a drawn-out process. Slater went on to report that Golden State is in no rush to make a landscape-shifting move. In fact, the Warriors are reportedly willing to wait until the mid-season trade deadline before pulling the trigger on a potential blockbuster deal. They're comfortable entering the season with the current 14-man roster, league sources said, believing they shorted up the middle of their rotation. With 3 value signings in free agency to Anthony Melton at $12.8 million next season, Kyle Anderson at $8.7 million and Buddy Hield at $8.7 million. Slater reported, right now the Warriors aren't forcing anything, instead they're patiently waiting for the perfect opportunity to arise before making their move. Report Warriors willing to wait for possible market and trade. Their Warriors reportedly have been aggressive in their pursuit of a trade for Utah Jazz All-Star big man Lauri Markkanen since July 1, and that hasn't changed. Despite the lull in recent activity, Golden State remains in the hunt for Markkanen and has entered into a waiting period regarding trade talks with Utah. The Athletic's Anthony Slater reported Tuesday, citing league sources, any possible Markkanen trade could take a while to materialize, though per Slater the important date to keep in mind is August 6, because that is when Markkanen becomes extension eligible. The Jazz aren't in a hurry to trade Markkanen, and Slater reports that there is belief around the NBA that the Jazz ultimately will sign the 2017 number S overall draft pick to a lucrative extension rather than trade him. The Athletic's Tony Jones recently reported that the Kings and Warriors both had substantial offers on the table for Markkanen, but Utah's lack of urgency forced the Kings to pivot from Markkanen to DeMar DeRozan. Slater reported, citing league sources, the Kings acquired DeRozan, a 6-time NBA All-Star, on Monday in a 3-team trade involving the Chicago Bulls and San Antonio Spurs. For the Warriors, the August 6 deadline isn't as big of an issue per Slater. The Warriors can afford to wait out the Jazz to see what they decide to do with Markkanen. The 7-foot Markkanen is a dynamic forward who averaged 23.2 points and 8.2 rebounds in 55 games for the Jazz last season in 7 NBA seasons between the Jazz, Chicago Bulls and Cleveland Cavaliers. Markkanen is averaging 18.1 points and 7.3 rebounds in 403 career games. Markkanen shot 48% from the field last season and is a career 45.9% shooter from three-point range. He shot 39.9% on 8 attempts a game last season. Unless something changes in Utah's thought process, it appears the market and trade speculation will drag out until the first week of August. So get comfortable. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Lauri Markkanen? Leave your opinion in the comments.